Hey cleaning mystery fans! Today's video takes a spooky twist. Get ready for a chilling short story that's bound to send shivers down your spine. Grab your popcorn and let's dive in.
I don't usually work late, but Mrs. Hill insisted the house be spotless for her daughter's engagement party the next morning. I agreed to stay late, figuring it would be an easy paycheck. The Hill residence was massive, a modern mansion with sleek minimalist decor that felt more like a museum than a home. It was the kind of place where every step echoed, and every shadow seemed a little too sharp. Just the main floor and the guest rooms, Mrs. Hill said as she had left for the evening. Oh, and one thing, leave the light on in the hallway upstairs. It's on a timer. I didn't think much of it. Rich people have quirks, and as long as I got paid, I didn't care. I started with the kitchen, scrubbing spotless the counters and the gleaming appliances. Time passed quickly, and soon I moved upstairs to tidy the guest rooms. That's when I noticed the light in the hallway. It was dim, casting a soft, warm glow that barely reached the ends of the long corridor. I kept expecting it to flicker, but it held steady as I worked, and not a comfort in the otherwise sterile house. I was making the bed in the second guest room when I heard it, a faint sound, like shuffling footsteps. I paused, listening, but nothing. I peeked into the hallway, but it was empty. The light still glowed softly, casting long shadows against the walls. I told myself it was my imagination, maybe the sound of the air conditioning kicking on, and went back to work. But then I heard it again, louder this time, a soft, dragging sound, like someone sliding their feet against the floor. My stomach tightened. Hello? I called, my voice echoing. No response. I stepped into the hallway, my shoes silent on the plush carpet. The sound had stopped, but the light, it seemed dimmer? Not by much, but enough that I noticed. I walked towards the far end of the corridor, my pulse quickening. The light above me buzzed faintly, and for the first time, I wondered about Mrs. Hill's insistence on keeping it on. When I reached the last room, I found the door ajar. I had not been in there yet. Hello? I tried again, pushing the door open. The room was empty, just another impeccably decorated guest suite. But as I stepped inside, the light in the hallway flickered. Once, twice, then it went out. The darkness was immediate and overwhelming, swallowing the room and spilling into the hallway. My breath hitched as I fumbled for the light switch, but my fingers brushed nothing but the smooth wall. I reached for my phone, turning on the flashlight. Its beam cut through the dark, but the hallway looked different now. Narrower, longer. The air felt heavy, pressing against my chest as I stepped into the corridor. The sound came again, soft shuffling, closer this time. I swung the flashlight around, but the beam caught only shadows. My pulse pounded in my ears as I moved towards the stairs, keeping my back to the wall. Then I saw it, a figure at the far end of the hallway, standing perfectly still. It was barely more than a silhouette, but it wasn't Mrs. Hill's, and it wasn't anyone I recognized. It was a tall and thin, with arms that hung unnaturally low. "Who's there?" I demanded, though my voice shook. The figure didn't respond. It didn't move, but somehow, the hallway felt smaller, like the walls were closing in. I didn't wait. I ran for the stairs, the flashlight bouncing wildly in my hand. I didn't stop until I was outside, standing in the cold night air, my breath coming in ragged gasps. I waited by my car, watching the house. No one came out. No lights flickered on. just the same looming structure, dark and silent. Mrs. Hill called me the next morning, irritated that I'd left early. I told her that there had been a power outage, but I didn't mention the figure or the footsteps. Odd, she said. That hallway light is battery powered. It shouldn't have gone out. I didn't go back. Weeks later, I drove by the house out of curiosity. It looked the same, pristine, imposing. But as I stared at it, I couldn't help but notice the upstairs hallway light. It was off.
Thank you for joining us on this eerie adventure, the Cleaning Mystery fans. If you enjoyed the story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more intriguing twists and turns. And if you have any story you want to share, please feel free to email us or leave it in the comments down below. We'd be more than happy to share it with everyone else. Until next time, and keep it clean and very mysterious.